Hello there, ladies, gentlemen, and anything else that you care to identify as how I are. I hope you're well. Now, thanks for visiting my channel. If you do enjoy this video, please like and subscribe. You know the fucking score. Some of you may be wondering why I've gone to this video format rather than using my old art style. Some of you may think that's a poor decision to put my face in high definition, and you'd be perfectly valid in thinking that. However, this takes a lot less editing. So I'll be able to get more videos out. I've paid for the fucking equipment. I may as well use it. I've made this place look nice for you because it didn't look as good before. So, you know, let me know what you think down in the comments. So to start with, sorry if I seem a little bit off today. I've just seen Harry Styles dressed as Ariel on social media. And as it seems like every day, I'm questioning reality once again. I've spent a little bit of time on social media this morning. And we were talking essentially about, or I was commenting essentially about trans rights within sport. Because I don't know if anybody else has noticed this, please let me know if you have, but when I'm scrolling through my Facebook page and my newsfeed, I'm getting bombarded with things that I'm not interested in. I'm not interested in trans issues at all. I think most of them just need to see a doctor, right? And I'm not interested in veganism. I'm not going to be a vegan. You're never going to persuade me that it's a good idea to be a vegan. So why have I got a vegan page every fucking 3 scrolls on my news feed? I don't search for vegan stuff. I don't search for vegan food. I don't discuss being vegan. I just get bombarded with this shit. And the same thing is happening with LGBTQ and trans pages and stuff. I'm just getting all this stuff forced down my face. And I don't know why, because I've got no interest in any of it. But nevertheless, it opens up the world and you do see and hear other people's opinions. Now, when it comes to athletes in sport, I do have a little bit of knowledge of this sort of thing. I studied at A-level college, sports science and biology. So I'm not an expert, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a fitness instructor or a physiotherapist or anything like that, but I have a basic knowledge across multiple different areas of sports science and biology. And yeah, there is definitely a difference between men and women. There's no denying that. Men have a denser bone structure. We generally have a wider skeletal frame, bigger rib cages, bigger shoulders, thicker necks, more muscular necks, and stronger ligaments, stronger cartilage, more fast-track muscle fibers within muscles themselves. I mean, their argument seems to be that there's differential abilities and physical abilities within gendered sport, and that's true. You know, Ronaldo and Lionel Messi are not the same physically, clearly, but they're a lot closer than they are to Megan Rapinoe or whatever that mad feminist name is. There's a huge difference. So while the differences between men physically, when you're talking about the same gender, are marginal, and usually if you have less of a strength in one area, you can compensate for that in a different area. So for instance, you might not have height, but you might have an excellent low center of gravity. So things like that, of course, there's always going to be variables because no two people are exactly biological the same, even twins. So if we're going to say that, then we may as well just have everybody playing all gendered sport. The problem with that would be, let's say tennis was for all genders, male and female played against together as well as whatever the fucking trans people decide to identify as. There's going to be one outcome, and that's going to be 500 men dominating tennis, followed by women. So, you know, what kind of message is that to young girls to go out and do sport and just say, yeah, you go out and do sport, but don't think you'll ever win anything, because you fucking won't. You don't have the physical capabilities to do so. You're competing against people who are far physically superior to you. No matter how hard you train, no matter what you do, what you eat, how good a professional you are, you will never be as strong or as good as them physically. So, again, it makes no sense. A lot has changed in the woke world in the last 5 years or so when it comes to this kind of thing. It wasn't long ago that we were campaigning for women's rights to make sure that women and men were treated equally. So you go to things like, say, equal pay. Now, that's a complex subject. We won't get into it here. But there's always been, for the last 10 years or so, this idea that women are paid less than men for doing the same work. And whether that's true or not isn't really the point. The point is that there was a differential between men and women as far as the feminists and the woke people were concerned in how they're treated and how we should all be treated equally in society. Yet, when a man like me says, well, women deserve the chance to compete fairly and equally, suddenly I'm transphobic. So you can't win, really, because if you're not for women's rights, you're a misogynist. And if you are for women's rights, then you're transphobic. Now, I don't really care about any of that stuff. I've been called so many names in all my life. Calling me a bigot or a transphobe just makes me fucking laugh. I had a conversation with this, well, I won't say what gender they were because I don't really know. Because as usual, these little leftists don't have their picture on their Facebook or Twitter profiles. They have some anime or some art or some quote, and they won't show their faces. And you can't, if I'm willing to put this on YouTube, right, the least you can do is put a real picture in your Facebook fucking profile. It's not difficult. But they're obviously ashamed of how they look, or more to the point, that maybe they don't want any association with their image and their opinions, which is worrying as to why you wouldn't want that. But never mind, that's not why you called. The genuine argument from these people is that the science is faulty. It hasn't been scientifically proved that women and men differ biologically. Well, yes, it fucking has. We've even managed to prove in recent years that psychologically men and women are different. The woke leftists don't like that either, but there's science behind that. They don't like that bit of science. It's funny, isn't it? Because when we talk about actual skeptical science, where it's not quite clear exactly what's going on, and it is highly politicised, things like climate change, things like what are going on in the world at the moment. Don't want to get I'd say I don't want to get demonetized. I don't get demonetized in the first place. I don't want this video being taken down by YouTube, so we'll avoid the big C word or the V word. But it's funny, isn't it? Because when it comes to this kind of science, they're the first ones to screech, believe the science, you're an anti-science, you're a science denier, you're a conspiracy theorist, if you don't believe every single thing the media tell us about COVID or climate change, right? Yet something that we've been able to observe for thousands of years, that we have the science pretty much nailed down as well as you could possibly really ask for, and they're saying it's faulty now. Suddenly science isn't 100% accurate like they want you to believe when it comes to COVID, and like they want you to believe when it comes to climate change. Suddenly there's a grey area, because it suits their agenda for there to be a grey area suddenly. It doesn't take much debunking though. Just look at every single world record in a physical event ever set and show me how many of them are women, right? No offence, girls, I love you, but you can do everything a man can't, and the women have got. I fucked that up. Trust me to fuck it up when I'm trying to big up women. But the whole point is we're different. You know, women can do the things that a man can't. Men can do things that women can't. Generally, things that take more empathy and more emotion and more care. Women are better at that. Things that take more force or physicality or aggression, men tend to do better at those sort of things. Women are better with people, men are better with things. There's a generalisation, which has been scientifically proved in the most egalitarian states in the world, such as Sweden. So don't at me, leftists. The science is with us on this one, much like it is with the biology of physical capabilities as well. Now, I'm not here to bash trans people or anything like that. Like, live however you want to live. Like, if you feel like you're in the wrong body and you want to identify some other way, I mean, there's questions to be asked about how well we can do that. Like, can I identify as black? Just because I like black music, like R&B, and I like football, and there's a lot of talented black footballers, a lot of talented black musicians, two of my biggest passions, so I'm just going to identify as black. Why can't I, bigot? Anyway, if we are picking and choosing how we identify, which is an odd thing to me in the first place, then just be taken advantage of. I could just say tomorrow I identify as a woman, and I could, from going and playing amateur Saturday League football, I could probably go and play semi-pro in a women's team at least. So How is that fair? And then what does that do? That blocks up actual girls a route forward to the top of their sport. So every single transgender, every single man that you let into women's sport is blocking another girl from getting there. South Park illuminated this idea quite well a season or two ago with PC Principal and Strong Woman and her being smashed in physical events by trans activists. And it's one of those complex ones, isn't it? You can't really fucking win because you go, oh, I don't want to be a transphobe, let men compete in women's sport. But then you're taking away women's rights. So whose side are you on? Are you on the side of biological women who deserve the right to compete fairly? Or are you on the side of men who have mental health issues and who for some reason believe they're women and then expect the rest of the world to indulge in that fantasy as well? I mean, if I say that I'm 6'1", does that make me 6'1"? It doesn't make me 6'1". I'm still 5 foot fuck all. Alright? Doesn't matter. So yeah. Anyway, thanks very much for watching this video. Let me know what you think in the comments. I just wanted to go on a little bit of a rant. I haven't written anything. I just wanted to give you the thoughts that are on my mind. I might start doing some live streaming and stuff now that I've got this equipment as well. Let me know if you want me to do that, if you watch. And I will still make the odd video with my old art style, but they will be more few and far between, and we'll have more of this sort of thing going forward. So please let me know what you think, and if you hate it, let me know, and I'll think twice. But if you like it, again, let me know. And I don't need to think twice, which would be doing me a favour, because even thinking once is pretty fucking hard for an uneducated bigot like me. So, thanks very much for your time, guys. Thanks for watching. Hope to see you again soon. Please click like, please click subscribe, and I will see you next time. Take it easy.